Yeah. So welcome, it's BV here, another episode, super pumped this morning. Very privileged and fortunate to call this great man beside me a friend. Chris Dukes McDougall, for the past 20 years, has been travelling the world, living his dream, following his passion, jumping out of all sorts of crazy stuff. Super excited to have him along here this morning. Dukes, welcome.
Yeah,
Great
buddy.
to be here, brother.
Good to be here, mate.
How you
We're
going,
going
mate?
wakeboarding, so it's going to be pretty intense.
Pretty super stoked. So we're just down here at Melbourne Cable Park, 40 kilometres out of Melbourne, down here in Victoria, Australia, and just thought I'd have a quick chat with Dukes just to see what he's been doing, what he's been up to, and what he's going to be doing next. So Dukes, tell the viewers this morning about what's been going on. I remember, well, 1 minute we're surfing, we're skateboarding down the coast, just being kids, and then the next minute you said I'm going skydiving, and then 20 years flashed past, and so
Bang.
fill everyone in, eh? It's been crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it's been a pretty wild journey. So I just went to do one skydive and absolutely loved it. Changed my life. And then got into competition skydiving and started winning all that stuff. And got into base jumping, and then it just took me around the world.
Wow.
And life just exploded, and been traveling the world ever since. And yeah, now live over in Europe, and was just here to do a bit of some talks on safety and risk management.
Yeah.
And managed to get a surf in, a base jump in. And now we're going wakeboarding. So it's really sick.
Cool, huh? Unreal. So tell me, you've had some amazing highs in your chosen endeavour. I mean, you've been world champion in base jumping, in skydiving. Is that
Yeah,
right?
I got a world record in skydiving, and we got to represent Australia a couple of times at the world level. So
Yeah.
came fourth, so it's not too bad for Aussies.
Wow. and I know we both refer to this as all the bullshit, all the accolades and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
the
wanker file.
The wanker file. The stuff that actually doesn't matter, but you have seen and done and achieved a lot, right?
Well, it's been fun, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like to see the fun factor's been on about 9.5, 10,
Yeah.
20 years, so it's been good.
And at the same time, there's been challenges in the journey, hasn't there? I mean, it hasn't all been easy like anyone in life. And even though you've been able to live your dream and follow your passion, there's been challenges. There's been low moments and really low moments for you. Would you be happy to share some of those?
For sure. I mean, it's 20 years of living on floors and pasta and rice and just making ends meet wherever you can. And obviously, it's a dangerous sport that we do, so there has been some deaths. So I watched my girlfriend die way back in 2004, and that was super heavy, so that really knocked me about. And then managed to sort of overcome all that and got back, but lost a lot of friends, all my best friends pretty much over those years, and in excess of probably 100 friends. So it's, so it's a heavy cost of what we do, but we made the choice to do it, and I'll try and do it as safe as possible, which I've done so far.
Yeah.
And that's life's about living, and it's not so much how long you live, it's how you do live. If you can do both, then you definitely win the game, and that's what I'm going for. So
that's unreal, and you definitely have been winning the game, and you've done some amazing things, and it's great to I always thought when you went off to follow your passion and your dreams, I was kind of like always, just hope every time I see it, it's like, hope he comes home, and you're still here,
here we
mate.
are, we're home, mate. Yeah. Went back to Keysborough yesterday, where I grew up, and checked out my local primary school, my local church,
Wow.
my original house, the local hangouts, the drains we used to play in. And when you look back and from going from there to the Swiss Alps, it's like complete contrast of. So I'm super proud of what I've achieved personally,
Yeah.
and where I've come from very humble beginnings to where I'm living now is just crazy. So. But yeah, it's always good to come back and have a meat pie and a dim sim.
It's great, mate. So tell me, fear is something, and I'm sure you get asked this question a lot. Fear is something that is real in all of our lives. And I'd imagine in your life, in choosing what you choose to do, that fear is something you experience a lot of. So maybe for the viewers, you can share something around some sort of mindset you go into when fear comes up, some of the stuff you do mentally in terms of how you approach it, so that it doesn't hold you back, so you use it to empower you to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I use fear every day, so fear is one of my best friends, and it's really important to work out whether it's negative or positive fear, so that's important. And say before a base jump, I'll use fear to my advantage, and I'll check the weather, make sure that's okay, check my mindset, make sure that's okay, check my gut feeling, make sure that's okay, gear and everything around me for the jump, so that when it's time to actually jump, it's just pure fear that's holding me back. And that way I've eliminated all the other issues.
Right.
And if that fear becomes a negative fear, if one of those things feels like it's wrong, then that fear is what makes me walk away and jump again another day. And I've walked away from hundreds and hundreds of jumps because of this. So that's a really good guide. And fear's different for everybody. So, for me, I use it as my tool for jumping. But it's important that you learn to use the fear to be able to slow time down, not speed time up. So it's important to stay calm during a fearful situation, rather not to panic. And it takes years and years of practice, and ends up in a bit of a state of flow and a really calming sensation.
Yeah.
But it's the key to achieving my dreams anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, no, mate, it's great insights. And I even think in some of my professional career when I've had fear about maybe it's going into a new patch to develop an area or a speaking gig or hosting an event, and what you speak about there is slowing things down. And so many people hurry things up and they let the fear and it overcomes them, and they're and they lose their way and they lose their focus and they lose their core. And it's fascinating in the business world and also in the adventure world, and what you've been doing, that you use the fear to slow things down and get your breathing in check. And so
it takes a lot of training too. It's not something that just comes naturally. Well, it comes naturally just for certain people to a certain extent, but you definitely have to work at it as well. Yeah. And that's what keeps your ego in check as well. So you need obviously a lot of confidence to do what we do. Yeah. Any adventure sport, you need confidence to achieve that sport, but you've got to be careful that confidence doesn't turn into arrogance. Yeah, and that's where fear comes into it as well. And just knowing your limits, and obviously you've got to push your limits to a certain extent, but don't over push them, because eventually if you're running at 100% all the time, something's going to happen. So I always personally run at a maximum of 70% in case I need to spike to 100%. And most of the time with base jumping now, I run at 30 to 50% of what I'm capable of.
Okay. No, good insights. And I call it redlining. When you run at 125%, I think when people run at 125% for too long, especially in business, they burn out and they just lose that passion and drive. And it's about tempering it. So go really, really hard for a little bit of time, and then pull back, and then get your mojo back, and then go do it in spurts.
Yeah. And with us, ours is life and death too. So if you're running at 100% all the time, and you need to spike at one point, when you're flying your wingsuit or whatever, and you've got nothing left to give, that's when the accidents happen. So it's important to hold back a little, and just for that time when you need to spike, and then you have that little bit in reserve to go a bit more throttle. And it's a tricky one, because life is awesome at charging the castle 100%, but I've had to learn just to give full throttle, but just have a little bit in reserve in case I need it. No, sensational.
So what about, has there been a specific hairy moment that you've been in where you thought, shit, I'm not feeling comfortable here, this is going not as I planned? Has there been anything that's been specifically hairy for you personally?
Yeah, just in life. I mean, I've been in a couple of predicaments in the USA where I've felt very uncomfortable with my surroundings, just with the people that were there and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's your primal instinct right there coming through.
Yeah.
In base jumping, I've had a couple of times where I've had to just relax and breathe, because I couldn't open my parachute at that point in time, and just had to fly through the line. This is in the early days, and there's no point getting my knickers in a knot about it. Whatever was going to happen was going to happen. Just relax, breathe, and stay calm and get through it. So that sort of stuff has helped me a long way from learning from those experiences. But mostly I've had a really clean run, and unfortunately it's been watching my friends' bad experiences that's really got me through it. So their loss has been my gain in the sport. And with base jumping, a lot of blood has been spilt to get the sport to where it is now, because it's still a relatively new sport. But the most important thing is to learn from all these mistakes along the way, and to use them to your advantage to future yourself, and the safety of your mates.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. So I know you've been down here in Australia doing some talks and sharing some of your insights, and that's starting to go really, really, really well. You're super excited about that, and we're working a little bit of a project at the moment, which is super cool. So I think when we started speaking about it 12 months ago, it was kind of like a bit of a pie in the sky, and would it happen, would it not? And to get to the point where we're at today, where we've got a pretty clear path on where we're going. But I want to know more about what's the future phase for you, your next steps. What do you see the next 12 months looking like for you, and what do you hope to be doing?
Yeah, the future phase, mate, is really cool. I've had an epic life. It's been full of just self-improvement and really helping myself to get to where I want to go. And now I'm in a position where I can really start to help others. So whilst having cool adventures myself, I want to help others on their cool adventures and show them the way my life turned around and ended up through awesome adventure experiences. And if I can pass it on to others, and also show them a bit about safety and mindset, and just living life to the maximum, and show people that it's not about monetary wealth, it's about memories of wealth and the places you get to see, the people you get to meet. And that's the most important thing, is to share experiences with people rather than money in the bank. So in the next 12 months, going to be fun. We've got something pretty rad planned. Full power adventure.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's gonna be sick. Yeah. Still secret at the moment.
Yeah. Coming soon though.
Yeah.
We're excited, huh?
It's gonna be sick.
We're excited. Well, mate, it's great to have you here. We're sitting in the car, it's raining. We're going to go and
do some
wakeboarding, get the froth on here at Melbourne Cable Park, mate. Great to see you.
You too,
Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
No worries,
Sensational. Good to see you, mate.
See you guys soon as well.
You.